Mildly Different is a new short film made by, starring, and about autistic individuals. I'm joined now by the writer and director of the short, Anna Czarska. Anna, congratulations on the film.
Thank you. And thank you so much for having me.
How does it feel to have it out there?
It's been a really long journey and a really long process. So it feels really good to finally be at this step. Yes.
Why was this story important for you to tell?
I think because I was a late diagnosed autistic as well. And I found that there was so much contradicting information out there, and that even somebody like me who was searching for an answer as to why I was so different than everybody else struggled to find it. And I when I actually did, it was such an emotional whirlwind, and it was so it just seemed so silly that it took that long to get there, and that even when I did get there, there was so much judgment and misunderstanding, and just sort of the way people see autism isn't really what autism is. And I wanted to give I guess I wanted to create a piece of media that would give a voice to autistic individuals, an authentic voice, and also to show non-autistic individuals what it's actually like for us.
And also raises a lot of questions too. So we can go and seek those answers. Because, Anna, there's a line in there that is heartbreaking. Christina calls her mum, and her mum turns around and just says to her, because Christina's like, but why? Like, I've been trying to talk to you and you're just not talking to me. And her mum turns around and just says, you're too hard to talk to. And that
They're
was just,
too difficult. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
it was
Yeah.
heartbreaking. And I was watching that going, the onus is always, doesn't matter what situation you're in, the onus always seems to be on the individual to change and not on society to really think about their interactions.
Yeah, yeah. I think in the film, her mother uh, just kind of didn't want to even acknowledge that there was a distance growing, and because Christina forces her to kind of acknowledge it, she gets angry, and in the moment just tells her gut reaction is, you're just too difficult. And that's just something that Christina's heard over and over with her relationships, and you know trying to reach out to people, she feels completely alone and trapped, and she doesn't understand why, because she doesn't see why she's difficult. She's just trying to honestly interact with somebody.
Yeah, the hard thing is, like, I think people like to just stick labels on people because it's just easy. If we put a label on someone, then this is the way we deal with someone. But just like individuals with autism all have their own personality traits. There's all these differences. But when the research focuses so heavily on males, I don't understand why, one, but the second bit is, what type of impact does that have on you? And is there a real difference between, this is a really stupid question, is there a real difference between the research done for males and females?
Yes, there actually is a really big difference in the way just that it's expressed, and I think that's what was happening. There was so much research for males on the spectrum, because the the sort of expression of autism was a certain way, and it was easier to box them into that category. Whereas females, or people that were born female, because many on the spectrum identify as either gender neutral or transgender or something else. So a lot of people that are born female, or have a typical presentation of autism, have a good way of masking their traits. They, tend to get a lot of emotional support as they're younger, because they're not male. Males don't get that kind of training. They don't get that kind of support. So, it's easier for somebody who has the atypical presentation of autism to just get through all of that, and not get assessed early on. So we go through our lives not knowing what's going on, not having the support, and not the understanding of either ourselves or from the people around us. So
Another, gosh, this interview is just filled with stupid questions, but another
oh
stupid.
no, not at all, not at all.
Well,
They're
another
good
one,
questions.
another one along those veins. what type of impact does that have on you when people, when you don't get to understand what is going on with you, and when people are trying to label you and label you incorrectly?
Yeah, actually, it's a very good question, because a lot of us go through this when we don't get that assessment early on. Um, it makes you feel like you're a broken individual. It makes you feel like there's something wrong with you, that no matter how hard you try, you can't do it. And and for instance, myself, when I was younger, I went to many different counselors and therapists, and not one suggested that I was autistic, despite the fact that all the signs are there. And they just said, "Oh, you're probably this, you have this, you have that." None of that's actually true. I mean, except for the fact that anxiety does come with autism. So I did have anxiety, but a lot of the other things just weren't there. It wasn't true. I was actually just autistic. And so, you go around thinking, "Oh, I'm imbalanced, I'm broken, and it makes you feel, not only do you know that you're so different, because you can tell from just the interactions from, other children and other individuals, but that kind of not fitting in, and then being told, "Oh no, you're imbalanced, or you're this or that," and it just makes you feel like, geez, like there's just something wrong with me. And you just can't get out of that mindset until I think you understand, no, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just autistic. I just
Yeah.
have a different way of thinking and seeing and absorbing and expressing. And so do others. There are lots of other autistics and other neurodivergent individuals out there. And that doesn't make me broken. It just makes me different. I'm a minority, not broken.
Exactly. And that
So
makes you
yeah.
great. It makes you who you are. And I think, when you get the diagnosis, it's great because
It
you're
is.
understanding what's happening with you. But
That's
for
right.
those around you, it doesn't mean that they start treating you differently. And I mean this in, they start talking down to you. That's not what we want.
Yes,
Maybe just
they
change your behavior.
absolutely
Yes.
do. Absolutely do. Actually, I was going to say that. Sorry, you reminded me there. The people that knew me, that were autistic, did say, "I think you're autistic, you should get an assessment." But the people that didn't really know me, or that I met after I got my diagnosis, when I expressed, "Oh yes, I'm autistic," they treat you like you're two, and like you're incapable of doing much of anything. They start talking down to you, they start making decisions for you, they start treating you like you're incapable of making decisions, or good decisions. And it's quite, if you actually look at it, a lot of our leaders and people, not just in the film industry but all over the world, are coming out as autistic. And you're finding that, oh well, that's why they were so focused, and that's why they were so hardworking and so capable, because of this. And I think the more we get that message out there, the more we show what autism actually is, that it isn't just, we're not 2-year olds that can't make a proper decision. When we actually show this, I think it'll have a big impact on all of our lives, both neurodivergent, or
Yeah.
neurodiverse, and neurotypical.
And I love that you're showing as well that at the end of the day, everyone is just an individual. So we need
Yes.
to, each interaction we have with an individual needs to be done on an individual basis. I think once we change that mindset, we're on the road for better interactions.
Yes, exactly. Actually, part of my film is dealing with a friendship. See, Christina develops a friendship, and that's what actually helps her to gain her self-confidence back, because all of us need connection. All of us, whether we're neurodiverse or neurotypical, we all need connection. And I think there's a misunderstanding, misconception about autistic people, that they don't need connection. And that's just not true. It's just so hard for us to get it, due to the misunderstandings, and trying to weed around the nuances of neurotypical behavior. And all of this just makes it very difficult, and people find us difficult because of our, the way we might express our opinions or something like that. But in the end, we're very alone, we're very lonely, we want that connection, we're trying to get it. And that's, one of the things I wanted to pinpoint in my film, was that just having somebody that understands, that is not judging you, that is your friend, that is going to connect with you, has such an impact on everybody, and especially somebody who is autistic, who has such trouble finding that connection with somebody.
So then you write Mildly Different, and you win, you start getting accolades. You win Best Short Screenplay at the Changing Face International Film Festival. How does that moment feel for you?
It feels really good to actually have your work validated in that way. I think, I put a lot of heart and soul into it. The script had a lot of autobiographical moments, as well as a lot of moments taken from stories of the autistic community. And I think having somebody sort of validate that and say, yes, this is a story that we're interested in, and this is something that we feel is important to be told, I think is amazing. It's amazing. And it's been a long journey. It's been 2.5 years to get here. For a short film, that's a very long time. So it's my baby, it's my passion. So it definitely means a lot.
And you get to share this at such a cool venue at the Stella on, is it the 17th, Wednesday, the 17th of November?
Yes, that's right. That's right. The Stella. I know we got very lucky to get that. We have 2 showings there. So very excited.
And if people want to go along, if they want to get tickets, how do they get their hands on tickets?
This would be on Eventbrite. So you would just go to Eventbrite and type in Mildly Different, or if you go to facebook.com/mildly different film, you'll see all of the updates and you'll be able to access it from there as well.
Brilliant. Well, Anna, congratulations on Mildly Different. Enjoy all of this, and I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me. Lovely to chat to you.